funnels, friction, and how to actually get sales. When you're just starting out, marketing can feel like a mystery. Which funnel should you use? How much info should you ask for? Should you actually run ads or do free organic marketing? And why do some leads show up ready to buy while others completely ghost you? The way you set up your funnel path, aka the path people take to buy from you, directly affects how easy or how hard it is for them to say yes. There's absolutely a spectrum. So when we talk about low friction funnels, there's easy way to sign up, little commitment needed. You'll get more leads, but most will be lower quality or need a lot of nurturing before they actually buy. With high friction funnels, those tend to have a lot more steps, more committed upfront, like filling out a long application or attending a multi-day event. You'll get fewer leads this way, but they'll usually be a lot more serious buyers. So here's the deal. You actually don't have to pick one. Smart businesses use a mix of these. What low friction funnels look like and why they're powerful. I want you to think about low friction funnels like easy entry doors. So, for example, that could look like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok lead forms, short applications, book a link calls, any sort of quick opt in. You can get a lot of people through the door fast with these methods, but most of them won't be ready to buy. You'll need to warm them up quite a bit with emails, content, and sales follow ups, which can be a lot of work. This works well when you're targeting busy, high income people who do not want to jump through hoops. You have a sales team or a sales process that follows up a lot with calls, texts, and emails. And you're okay with playing the volume and long game. For example, if you were selling something like raising capital for investments, you might run a simple ad that goes to a lead form that goes to a sales team who follows up relentlessly. It'll take dozens of follow ups and maybe months before they buy, but the upside is these leads have money. What high friction funnels look like and why they create what I call serious buyers. High friction funnels require commitment up front. Some examples of these are paid 3-day challenges, long ass applications, multi step webinars, or paid workshops. By the time someone actually finishes, they're so invested, they're basically ready to buy at that point. So that's the good side of it. The bad side is fewer people will sign up, and rich, busy people are less likely to commit that much time to something. For example, I've seen businesses do 9-day paid challenges where people spent hours a day with them. By the end, those leads were begging to buy a 40K offer. It works, but it's a grind to fill those events. And if it doesn't attract high level, time poor clients easily, then you're kind of out of luck. So, which should you use? That's the big question, right? Both. And here's why. You want to mix these together. Low friction funnels will give you the volume, lots of people to work with, and high friction funnels give you the quality, people closer to buying. So you'll have a mix of both. And in between, you have moderate funnels like call funnels or even basic simple webinars. The real game isn't picking one or the other, it's knowing how to move people up the intent spectrum. Crazy, right? So this is how you turn a maybe lead into a buyer. A lead who casually clicked on an ad is not a buyer yet, but you can warm them up with a bunch of information. We've been over this before in other videos. Send them emails that teach, build trust, and answer objections. Share stories and results from other clients. Give them a clear reason to stay interested in you and what you're offering. One solid piece of trusted info can turn a meh lead into a ready to buy lead. So, for example, I booked a 5K health program on the spot. No fancy funnel, no follow ups, just because someone I trust recommended it. That's the power of the right information from the right person. So when you're starting out, you probably don't have a lot of big name referrals. So you have to build trust with content, whether, again, it's emails, videos, social posts, or relentless sale calls and texts. Rich people need low friction because, well, if you're targeting high income clients, you first need to remember this. Rich people have money, but they do not have time for you, your funnels, your sales conversations. They're more likely to fill out a quick form and pay than sit through a 3-day challenge. That's why low friction funnels often work better with high ticket buyers. But if you're selling to people who do have time but less money, high friction funnels like free challenges or workshops can build enough trust and urgency for them to buy. You're starting to get the picture here of like merging them together. The simplest funnel strategy for beginners is honestly starting with one low friction funnel. Let me explain. So an example would be a lead form, a short application to a book a call form, whether that's Calendly or however you have that set up. Pair it with emails and content to warm them up. And again, I created a video about this last week, so go watch that. Add one higher friction funnel. So example, a free webinar, a mini course, or a workshop, and use that to create buyers who are more committed. That way you're getting a mix. So next you need to build the back-end selling systems. Again, we've talked about this. This means confirmation page, videos, nurturing emails, sales assets, and simple follow-up scripts so that these guys do not go cold on you. Always focus on info that drives intent. The more people know, like, and trust you, the more likely they are to buy. So, what's the bottom line for new business owners and copywriters? I got you. Low friction equals more leads, more work to convert on the back end. Okay. High friction equals fewer leads, but hotter buyers. The magic is in combining both and using content and follow ups to move people from curious to convicted buyers. Funnels, they're not magic, they're just paths. What matters is the trust and the value you build along the way with your leads. If you're writing copy or building funnels, always, 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 always ask, how much friction is there in this funnel or in this copy? Who is this really for? Busy rich buyers or people with time? What info do they need to feel ready to buy? Remember, you don't need $1 million months to start. You just need a system that gets people interested, nurtures them, and makes buying an easy yes. I'm Amanda Catarzi. This is Cashflow Copy. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend because sharing is caring. I'll see you guys next week.